Changing Opportunities, the Switch Now podcast. Hello, Ross Watchman here, and welcome to another edition of the Switch Now podcast, a chance for you to find out how we work here at Switch Now. And in this edition, we're going to the Allotment in Little Paxton. We have a plot there, as does Paul, and we'll be meeting him later along with Jenny Galatly, who is the clerk at Little Paxton Parish Council. But first, we're going to meet Claire, who's going to take us on a tour of the Switch Now plot.
You're listening to the Switch Now podcast.
So here I am now at Little Paxton Village Allotment, and the member of Switch Now's staffing team who has the most input here is Claire. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Ross.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
So let me begin by asking you, how did Switch Now get involved with the allotment?
I think Switch Now were looking for a new space for the co-workers to work, to give them more skills and more insight to how things grow, and to look in towards enterprise schemes as well. So I believe they approached the Allotment Association and just asked for one.
Great. So how long have we had our own plot here?
It's been about 2 years now. So we had it all during the lockdown as well. We got it well established just before the lockdown, and then it all grew very well with weeds and everything during lockdown, so we've had a lot of work to come back to.
And how far have you come since first acquiring the plot?
Well, all that was here were some planters on the ground, and that was it. So what we've done is we've removed some of those planters, we've put in lots of raised beds so that it suits everybody that visits. We've bought a polytunnel, put that in. We have a space now for things to grow. And I'd say it's definitely better maintained and well used now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you don't mind showing us around, Claire, that would be great.
Yeah. Starting on this side, we've got a willow weaved wall, which was done by John, Josh and Nathan with the support of our volunteer Peter. We went over to Paxton Pits, we cut and collected all the willow, brought it here, and then they've made a fence just to outline the boundary of our allotment. Along the boundary, we've planted sunflowers. There's one for everyone, and we're having a bit of a competition to see who can have the tallest sunflower.
Okay.
They're getting pretty big right now.
I can tell.
We've also got some fruit trees around. We've got apple trees, cherry trees, and pear trees. We've got a lot of fruits, gooseberries, red currants, raspberries, strawberries, and an awful lot of vegetables. So if I show you around, we've got a whole bin committed to just growing beans. We've got potatoes, radishes, carrots, sweet corn, cucumbers, courgettes, butternut squashes, beetroot, chilies, red peppers, all sorts. As well as a herb bin that we put together and a new flower bin, which was Nathan's idea to help attract in the bees and everything. And we've also got a grapevine, which has been donated by Ian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's now talk to 3 of the co-workers who work here at the allotment. Please welcome Nathan.
Morning.
John.
Hola, welcome to my allotment.
And Josh.
Hi.
Hello, all 3 of you. So what are some of the tasks that you get up to here at the allotment?
We're growing some chocolate mints.
Watering the plants.
I done plants and digging and weeding, watering, planting, building.
So what things do you grow here on your plot?
We grow lots of vegetables around there, like strawberries and other things like that. So I think we are happy what we are eating.
Sweet corn, carrots, potatoes and pumpkins, parsnip, sunflowers, green beans.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with all of this, and thank you for talking to me today.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Claire, let me finish by asking any future plans for the plot at all?
We've got a lot of plans, Ross, a lot of plans. Because we've got the grapevine, we want to put in a better installation for the grapevine, support it to grow better. We've got some bamboo guttering which we're going to put up and collect our own water whilst we're here, so we don't have to keep fetching it from the tap, and rainwater's better for the plants anyway. We're going to add in a bit more decoration to make it look a bit more fancy, and a few more things to keep the birds and the animals away. There's a lot of badgers in this area, so we have to put in a bit of badger protection as well, because otherwise they'll come and eat those carrots. We're going to build some better compost bins, and we have to make some new cages to be able to put over some of the vegetables as well, just to protect them from, sadly, from butterflies. They lay their eggs on the back of the plants and then the caterpillars eat everything. So we have to protect quite a lot of the plants from the wildlife. So there's a lot more building to be done, and we're going to have a little bit of a rejig this year, just to reposition a few things around, just to try and get maximum use of the space that we've got.
You sound very busy. Best of luck with it all.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for talking to us today, Claire.
Thank you for coming. I hope you've enjoyed coming to the allotment.
So here I am now with Paul, and you are another plot owner here, Paul, that's right.
That's correct, yes. I've had this allotment now for about 4 years. I started here really just as I retired, so I could have something to do, come up and meet people, and to grow some vegetables.
Great. So what do you grow on your plot then?
Right, this year on our allotment here, we've got courgettes, round courgettes, and I've got some butternut squash. And then on a salad plot here, I've got some beetroot, some spring onions, some lettuce. And then coming up to this other allotment, I've got shallots and onions, and I've taken the garlic out already to dry. Then coming back this way, I've got broad beans, 2 rows of parsnips. Then I've got cabbage, runner beans, and French dwarf beans. And then we go into the fruit section, where I've got blackcurrants, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, and rhubarb over the other side. And then just going down the other side, we've got some new potatoes and some second earlies, with some cauliflowers growing in between.
Lovely. So lots is grown here.
Plenty on here. It's all doing well this year with the rain and everything we've got. So a little bit of sunshine and everything suddenly shot up, including the weeds.
Any future plans for your plot?
Right, the future I want to do for the plot now is I want to try and get some water butts up here. Obviously to catch the rainwater, to help with the, not using the hose pipe so much. And then maybe get another barrel up here, in which if we put some nettles in and add it with the water, that'll add as a fertiliser, safe mine fertiliser.
Lovely. Well, we wish you luck with those future plans.
No problem, I'm sure it'll go well.
If you don't mind, Paul, I'd like you to give me a tour of the rest of the site, if you would.
Yeah, no problem. Take a little walk around and let's go and have a look.
Okay, let's go. So how much has it changed since you first came here?
It hasn't changed too much. I've noticed a lot more people are using the allotments now. When I first came here, there were a few abandoned plots that weren't being used, but if you look around now, most of them have been kept up well. They're really doing well over this last couple of years. I think it's because more people have had time to come up during the COVID crisis, and everybody's growing things. If you look at these allotments here, you can see a lot of people have got the fruit cages up to stop the birds picking the fruit. These are very helpful when you have these on. Some people have bigger cages where they can get fruit trees in, so it'll stop the birds taking the cherries and the plums.
Okay.
See here, there's some black currants growing on this bush. It's all overgrown a bit, but it stops the birds getting on there as well. These are useful little allotments. They're only just a little box, but people who haven't got a lot of time, they can come up here, put some plants in with the children, they can grow them, and the kids really love these little ones.
Great, yeah.
One of the biggest problems we have up here is growing carrots. Nothing wrong with carrots or anything, it's just that when they get to the right size, the badgers, they love to come in and eat the carrots and dig them all up. And here you can see people have got big iron cages which they put over the top to try and stop the badgers from getting the carrots.
I see.
Here you can see someone here, they've got carrots growing in the allotment, but they put boards all the way around the carrots, and then they put cages over top of the carrots as well.
Yeah, keep the birds and all that out, yeah.
These are very popular, the polytunnels up at the allotment. It allows people to bring the seeds up in the spring, sow the seeds and keep them in trays so they grow nice and early. And then once they've grown, they can take them out, put them on the allotment, or even grow tomatoes and peppers. and the softer fruits inside the polytunnels. This allotment here is lovely. For the first 3 years I was up here, it was nothing but grass and weeds. And somebody's come in here, dug it all over, and look at the potatoes they've got growing, tomatoes, beans. They've got a lovely variety of vegetables on here.
Yeah, certainly looks very good. You can't believe that this was once all grass. So for those of you listening, we have a water pump here.
I think there's about 5 taps dotted around the allotment. There's one here, 2 further as you come in, and then there's another 2 over the other side of the allotment. Very handy, so we can get the water in dry spells.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you, Paul, for showing us around the allotment.
No problem, I've really enjoyed it.
And let me finish by just asking you, what has it been like having Switch Now co-workers on site with you?
It's been really enjoyable. It's just seeing the enjoyment people get when they see the plants growing from seeds up to the big plants that they get the fruit off of or the vegetables off of, and listening to them when they pick them and finding new things. It's just been really nice. And meeting them all, just having a good old chat.
Well, it's our pleasure. Paul, it's been great to talk to you.
No problem. I'm always up here on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, so you'll always find me up here.
Thank you very much for talking to us today.
Okay, thanks very much. Bye.
Thanks again to Paul. In the next edition of the Switch Now podcast, we're going to be moving down the road in Little Paxton to Paxton Pits, and Claire, who you heard from earlier in this edition, will be our guide once again as she shows us round this massive site and tells us what Switch Now co-workers get up to there. That next time on the Switch Now podcast.
Hi, I'm Cathy and I work in the Switch Kitchen. This year we're offering lots of treats for Christmas that you can order from us. We have 2 types of Christmas cake designs, one with gold stars and one with a snowman. We also have a Dundee cake. The 4-inch cake is £12, the 6-inch cake is £17 and the Dundee cake is £18. They are all handmade in our training kitchen and hand decorated by Switch co-workers. We will also be offering 1 pint Christmas puddings, which are £6.50 each, yummy home baked mince pies, beautifully presented, £3.50 for 6, and lovely sweet buttery homemade Christmas shortbreads sold in a bag with decorative ribbon, £3 for 6 pieces. We're also making a selection of dipped and rolled truffles. They will be presented in a box decorated with festive ribbon, and these will be £4 for 6. If you wish to place an order, please email Jeanette Popham at switchnow.org.uk. The last day for placing orders will be Monday the 29th of November, and the last day for collection will be Thursday the 16th of December. Merry Christmas from us all at Switch Now.
Well, now let's meet Jenny Galatly, and she is the Parish Council Clerk at Little Paxton. Hello, Jenny.
Hello, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. So how long have you worked with Little Paxton Parish Council as Parish Clerk?
I've been the Parish Clerk for 17 years now. I moved to the village 18 years ago and I applied for the job a month after we moved in, and I was successful and got the job, and I love it. I think it's the best job I've ever had.
Tell me a bit more about that.
Right, what the Parish Council do, we look after the QE2 playing field, which is quite a large playing field with a cricket pitch, 2 football pitches. We've got 28 items of outdoor gym equipment, a multi-use games area that's floodlit, and we also have a second play park at the other end of the village as well. We also look after the allotments, the cemetery, and 43 streetlights.
Wow, so a lot then.
Quite a lot, keeps me busy.
So what projects are currently being worked on, and do you have any plans for future projects?
We've got 2 projects, large projects. One is a big extension to our cemetery. We've got another one which has started yesterday. We've got to replace the boundary wall beside the local church, which is going to cost £20,000. It's a listed wall, so there's been a lot of hoops we've had to jump through to get all the permissions in place. The work started yesterday, and within an hour of the men arriving, they found a bee nest. So all the workers had to stop today while we sort out the bees.
So let's talk about the allotments then. How many individual plot owners can you have on that site?
Well, it's quite a large site. We have in total 121 plots. We've got large plots, half plots, starter plots and the small raised beds, but they are very popular. and we have quite a long waiting list. We've got 2 waiting lists, one for Little Paxton residents, they get priority. There's about 7 on the list there, and then we have a list for the non-Little Paxton people, and there's 28 on that waiting list. So we reckon the waiting time's about 2 years.
So what has it been like having us from Switch Now there?
It's been fantastic having young people down on the allotment site every week, looking after the allotment and enjoying allotment gardening.
It's our pleasure to be down there. And finally, for people listening in the local area who may be interested in having their own plot there, how can they get in touch?
They can either call me on the council phone number, or they can send me an email, and our email address is on our website, and then we'll put them on the waiting list. And once a plot becomes available, we will meet them and have a site visit, so they're quite happy and they understand what they're taking on before we actually let the plot out.
Jenny Galatly of Little Paxton Parish Council, thank you for talking to us on the Switch Now podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again to Jenny Galatly. Now, just before we go, I have some great news to tell you. Since this podcast was recorded, Claire and the co-workers entered their plot and some of their fruit and vegetables for awards at the Little Paxton Autumn Show, which took place on Saturday the 11th of September. And I'm very happy to tell you that they won 14 different awards. They won third prize for 3 long carrots, a basket of vegetables, 4 scones and the heaviest vegetable, as well as second prize for 4 shortbread, 4 courgettes, 2 cucumbers, a vegetable selection, 1 butternut squash and 3 stump carrots. Plus they won for the 6 cookies, the 1 weird pumpkin and the 6 runner beans. And I'm very proud to say this, they won the award for the best half plot allotment, so well done all of you, and keep up the good work. That's it for this edition of the Switch Now podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll be back again very soon. The Switch Now podcast was presented by Ross Watchman, compiled and produced by Ross Watchman and Sean Mardlin.